Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're having a really good day. Today is Friday, and today the Dixie Chicks, now known as the Chicks, have just released their first album in 14 years. Their 8th studio album. Finally, here it is, Gaslighter. I've been waiting for this album for a few months. This is my very first Dixie Chicks album. I keep calling them Dixie Chicks. I am so sorry. The Chicks. This is my very first Chicks album. Of course, I've heard their classic singles from the 90s and 2000s, but I'm very eager to get into my very first The Chicks album. And looking at the track list, there are 12 tracks. The album is 47 minutes, and the only track I've heard so far is track number 1, Gaslighter, and I remember hearing this song a couple months ago and instantly falling in love with it. And Jack Antonoff co-wrote this song, and I can always tell when Jack Antonoff had a hand in the song because it has that Bleachers sound to it, and I absolutely love Bleachers. If you haven't listened to Bleachers yet, I definitely suggest checking them out. They are a great pop band. And prior to releasing this album, the Chicks did collaborate with other artists. For example, they did collaborate with Taylor Swift for a song on her Lover album from last year, 2019. My favorite parts of this song, Gaslighter, are the lyrics. Gaslighter, a big timer, repeating all of the mistakes of your father. Gaslighter, you broke me. You're sorry, but where's my apology? Gaslighter, you liar. Not only is this a great song, but it's a great way to kick off the album. So A+ for me, and we're only one track into the album. So now let's move on to track number 2, Sleep at Night.
Not that you asked, but I'm getting past everything. My husband's girlfriend's husband just called me up. How messed up is that? How do you sleep at night? How do you tell the lies? How do you tell the lies? How do you tell the lies? How do you sleep at night?
Alrighty, and that was track number 2, Sleep at Night. I really enjoyed the song. I loved the production and the lyrics once again. She is singing about, it's really interesting, she's saying, my husband's girlfriend's husband just called me up. How messed up is that? It's so insane that I have to laugh. But then I think about our 2 boys trying to become men. There's nothing funny about that. How do you sleep at night? How do you tell those lies? Looking me in the eye, living a double life. So normally I don't do this. I don't normally look up the meaning of songs as I'm listening to an album. I usually do it afterward, or I let you guys tell me in the comments. But I'm very curious as to know what happened here. And the lead singer, Natalie Maines, did divorce from her then husband Adrian after a 2-year-long nasty legal war. And it looks like this was made official back in December of 2019, so just recently. So I'm thinking this album might be a bit of a divorce album, especially track number 2, Sleep at Night, and also probably track number 1 as well. I'm thinking track number 1, Gaslighter, can refer to many different things as well. And I didn't want to bring this up, but I feel like I have to because it is the pink elephant in the room. And this is the Chicks' first album in 14 years. So I want to address why it might have taken so long for them to put out another album. And it's because of an incident that occurred 17 years ago when Natalie, one of the singers of the Chicks, then called the Dixie Chicks, made a comment about then President George W. Bush. And because of this comment, a lot of her fan base essentially blacklisted the Chicks, then called the Dixie Chicks. The Dixie Chicks were blacklisted by not just a big core of their fan base, but also quite a few people in North America, around the world, and by country music, radio stations. It was a horrible time, and I feel like now in 2020, 17 years later, they still haven't really recovered from that incident, unfortunately. And their last album prior to Gaslighter in 2020, the album I'm listening to now, their prior album, their 7th studio album called Taking the Long Way, the lead single off that album, called Not Ready to Make Nice, is one of my favorite Chicks songs. And I remember hearing it all the time on the radio back in 2006, where I lived. I heard it all over the radio. And this song is essentially addressing the incident that occurred prior to this album being released in 2006, calling Taking the Long Way, the song Not Ready to Make Nice. It's a great Dixie Chicks song. I'm sorry I keep calling them the Dixie Chicks, it's just habit. So if you want to know more about this incident and what occurred, I definitely suggest looking into it, checking out their prior album, Taking the Long Way. This is an album I haven't listened to yet, but I definitely want to check it out one day. I might even go on a Chicks discography journey soon. Who knows? Anyway, now let's move on to track number 3, Texas Mad.
I could use a Texas man, the one who can feel at home. Yeah, everybody wants top market. I'm a little bit unraveled, and I'm ready. Wait too long since somebody's body hit me up on now. Not the street I do, then sign me up. If I'm not too much for you, then sign me up.
So that was track number 3, Texas Mad. And this was another song I enjoyed listening to. I haven't listened to many country albums in my lifetime. The only recent country albums that I've listened to are the albums from Casey Musgraves' Golden Hour and Carrie Underwood's Cry Pretty. Even some Taylor Swift. I mean, is she considered country anymore? Not really, she's more pop. But you get what I mean. I listen to more pop country music. And I definitely want to get into country music. Country music isn't one of my favorite genres, I will say, but I still like listening to it. Oh, I forgot. I also listened to Dolly Parton's album, Jolene, on this channel a few months ago, and I loved that album. I love Dolly Parton so much. In this song, they are essentially saying I could use a Texas man, but what it can feel at home, yeah, here in the California sad, who holds me like he'll never let go. It's been way too long since somebody's body was tangled with mine. Everybody wants the new model, but I'm a little bit more traveled. If you got the strength I do, then sign me up. And essentially what she is saying in the song is that she could use a Texas man. Yeah, here in the California sad. So someone who will never let her go. It's been too long since she's been tangled up with someone else. It's been such a long time since she was able to just lay around with someone and hold someone and be entangled with that person. And everybody wants the new thing. Everybody wants the new, shiny, fresh-faced person, man or woman. And she's saying here that she's a little bit more traveled and she's a little bit unraveled, but she's ready. So now let's move on to track number 4, Everybody Loves You.
I'm so tired, I have to tame my mind. Why does everybody love you? Sometimes I close my eyes amidst the dancing light. It's my body and it hates you. Why does everybody love you? They don't know enough about you. Do they know that I regret you?
Alrighty, and that was track number 4, Everybody Loves You. Wow, this was a beautiful yet heartbreaking song. Why does everybody love you? They don't know the things that I do. Why does everybody love you? They don't know enough about you. Do they know that I regret you? Do they know I should have to? I feel like a lot of us might have been in this situation like what is being said in this song. Someone who comes into our life, or somebody who's just been a part of our life forever and we didn't have a choice. They were just always there. And everybody seems to love this person, everyone seems to like this person. But in the back of our heads, we say, if only those people knew what I know about that person, they would love them the way that they do. They would like that person the way they like them now if they only knew the things that I had to go through with this person. The things this person put me through and the things this person made me feel. I don't know why they're so loved when they made me feel the way they did. And for myself in particular, there's one person in particular that I can think of, and I don't want to really get into it, but I can kind of relate to this song. So now let's move on to track number 5, For Her.
I'm a lover, 'cause I can't help myself. Why can't we be together? For her, stand up, show love. We be together.
Okay, and that was track number 5, For Her. This was, again, a very powerful, beautiful song, and I could just hear the emotion in Natalie's voice. Just that raw emotion. I could just hear it through every syllable she was singing, and it was heartbreaking but beautiful at the same time, because it takes a lot of hard work to get a whole lot stronger, because it's real tough, girl. Why can't we be together? Why can't we love for her? Wish I could go back and tell my younger self you're a fighter, you just don't know it yet. So dig a little deeper and be a whole lot louder. So now let's move on to track number 6, March, March.
March, march to my own drum. March, march to my own drum. Oh, I'm an army of one. Riders back in here 'cause you don't like Mondays. Underpaid teacher, police in the hallways. Half of you love me, half already hate me. March, march to my own drum. Pictures are rising, cities are sinking. Oh, cut the shit, you know your city is sinking. March, march to my own drum. March, march to my own drum.
Alrighty, and that was track number 6, March, March. And this was a very interesting song. I really liked listening to it. Once again, I like read the lyrics. I like the atmosphere of the song and the production. March, March to my own drum. Hey, hey, I'm an army of one. And then in brackets, she says, half of you love me and half already hate me. Tell the old boys in the white bread lobby what they can and can't do with their bodies. Temperatures are rising, cities are sinking. So this is clearly quite the political song. She also talks about, where is it? Who's gonna listen? Everybody's talking. What the hell happened in Helsinki? And when I read that lyric, I didn't know what happened in Helsinki, so I actually had to look it up. And apparently, it refers to the 2018 summit meeting in Helsinki, Finland, between Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin. The Chicks always seemed to be a group that always voiced their opinions and always spoke their minds. That's why I always could appreciate them and their music, because they speak their truth, they stand up for what they believe in, and they march to their own drum. And she even says here, half of you like me and half of you hate me. So this is a very powerful song. She's talking about climate change as well, I believe. Temperatures are rising, cities are sinking. She's also talking about women's rights, and I imagine perhaps abortion. Tell the old boys in the white bread lobby what they can and can't do with their bodies. So there's lots going on in this song. I'm hoping I interpreted this song the way it was intended, but that's what I got out of the song when I read it. So now let's move on to track number 7, My Best Friend's Weddings.
Now you're at my best friend's wedding. There was something about you. I see wildfire coming, burning the world that I know. In 20 years, in 20 years, 20 years, yeah, I'll still be younger than you.
Already, and that was track number 7, My Best Friend's Weddings. I loved the melody in this song. I am enjoying this album, but I will say this album is uplifting in parts, but it's also quite sad. Just the energy I'm getting from the album. And I mean, they could be talking about multiple things on this album. Obviously, it is still quite political in parts, but also there is the divorce, I imagine, involved with this album, and also perhaps the aftermath of what occurred 17 years ago. So, multiple things came together to form the lyrics of this album, I imagine. Met you at my best friend's wedding. There was something about you. You set off fireworks that evening with a flicker of untruth. Jump 20 years. Looking back in retrospect, I was never safe. I was never safe. Still not safe. You torch me any chance you get. I see a wildfire coming. So I imagine this is about her ex-husband. She met, I mean, obviously this might be metaphorical in terms of meeting him at her best friend's wedding. It could just be a story she's telling. But she's saying, I met you at my best friend's wedding. There was something about you. She fell in love with him. The fireworks went off, la la la. But there was a flicker of untruth, and now jump 20 years ahead in retrospect. Why am I having issues with that word? Looking back in retrospect, I was never safe. So maybe perhaps she regrets this marriage. I don't know. And once again, I don't normally do this, but I want to know when she got married. So it looks like she married Adrian back in 2000, exactly 20 years later. And that's what she says in the song here. Jump 20 years. But what I love about this song is when she says, I'm back here at my best friend's wedding. I imagine 20 years later. Again, this is a story she's telling. I don't know if this actually happened. But she's saying she's back at her best friend's wedding. She married again, so this is the same friend. I've never seen her look more happy. Guess from ashes we can really grow, and my wildfire's coming, burning the path that I've known. I mean, I could go on and on, but I'll stop. We have to move on to the next song, but I really enjoyed listening to and reading this song. So now let's move on to track number 8, Tights on My Boat.
Okay. I hope you die peacefully in your sleep. Just kidding. I hope it hurts like it hurt me. And you can tell the girl who left her tights on my boat that she can have you now. You're gonna get what you got coming to you. You are. Right. You're gonna get what you got coming to you. But I won't be the last one to tell you.
Alrighty, that was track number 8, Tights on My Boat. And I'm definitely learning a lot more about the Chicks and Natalie, the group members as a whole. I'm learning about their stories because, like I said at the beginning of this video, I've never listened to a Dixie Chicks album before. So I'm learning a lot more about this group here. And it looks like her husband was cheating on her. There were some tights found on her boat that weren't hers. Again, that could be a metaphor for his infidelity, but it could have actually happened. She could have actually found tights on her boat from another woman. And she says in the beginning, I hope you die peacefully in your sleep. Just kidding. I hope it hurts like you hurt me. And you can tell the girl who left her tights on my boat that she could have you now. I mean, I don't blame her for saying those things about this guy here. I'd be just as mad and sassy and pissed off too. I hope you die peacefully in your sleep. Just kidding. I hope it hurts like you hurt me. I mean, I don't blame her. I hope you never find a sock to match the other one. Hey, will your dad pay your taxes now that I am done? So it looks like perhaps Natalie was the breadwinner of the family. She was making the money, and he perhaps wasn't making as much money as her. I don't know who this Adrian is. Sorry, I'm kind of falling down this rabbit hole here of all this, of Natalie's life, essentially. So it looks like Adrian Pastar is an American actor and voice artist. He is known for playing Jim Prophet on the TV series Prophet, which I've never heard of. And for his roles in Near Dark, Carlito's Way, Mysterious Ways, and Nathan on Heroes. I have watched the show Heroes before, back a long time ago. So he is an actor. I don't really recall seeing him in any movies or shows before except for Heroes. So yeah, there's that. And I'm reading here in 2006, he had a high-profile guest role As a sleazy lawyer in Desperate Housewives. Sleazy lawyer. Well, I mean, should we just continue on here? I mean, I'm just finding this so fascinating, so you can just fast forward this if you don't want to listen to it. They have two sons, between Natalie and what's his name? I already forgot what his name is. Adrian. Two sons named Jackson and Beckett. Natalie Main said that the Dixie Chicks, now called the Chicks' upcoming album Gaslighter is very personal for her, with songs written during the divorce. And I picked that up immediately listening to this album. It does sound very personal. I'm learning a lot. As you can see, I'm researching a lot. I don't normally do this during one of these first listen videos, but this whole world of the Chicks and her life and everything that happened is just very intriguing to me. So now let's move on to track number 9, Juliana, Calm Down.
Juliana, calm down. You know he's about to leave, but don't panic. I guess this is the time to remind you sometimes what's going through your head. You know there'll come a time you think you can't handle it. And do it with a smile so that no one knows it's on, on. Yeah, calm down. And Juliana, calm down.
Okay, and that was track number 9, Juliana, Calm Down. And this was a very powerful song. She's saying, you know, he's about to leave, but don't panic. Don't give him the satisfaction that you can't handle it. Breathe. I'll be okay. And she's essentially saying, just put on your best shoes and strut the fuck around like you've got nothing to lose. Show off your best moves and do it with a smile. Don't think about his lips. And then she goes on to say, sometimes what's going through your head is just a temporary situation and light will soon be shed. And what's interesting is she's using all these different female names. So it's like she's addressing her listeners, to every single woman out there who might be listening to her music. She's saying, Katie, calm down. And then she says, Ava, hold on. And then she also says, Juliana, calm down at the very end. But she also says, and Violet, calm down. And Juno, calm down. Berta, calm down. Hesper, calm down. And Amelia, calm down. Naomi, calm down. I don't know if there's a specific reason as to why those names were chosen, but I really like the meaning behind the song. So now let's move on to track number 10, Young Mad.
I had no words for you that Saturday. Take the best parts of him as your whole life begins. You're gonna be alright. Young man, take a good look at my life. It's up to you.
Alrighty, and that was track number 10, Young Mad. And once again, this was such a beautiful song, but it did tug at my heartstrings. And she's saying, as we both watched our entire worlds change, your hero fell just as you came of age. You're of me, not mine. Young man, take a good look at my life and try to understand I've done my best. The best I know how to. You'll walk in your own shoes, it's up to you. So she did the best she could, and it's not your fault. And my blues aren't your blues. And just start your life. Your life is young. Your life is just starting. Just form your own path. Just go ahead, steamroll ahead, and you'll be okay. So now let's move on to track number 11, Hope It's Something Good.
There I go, trying to keep myself distracted. When did you know? Why'd you pretend to try? I hope it's something good. If you got it, I hope it's really worth it. 20 years of hanging on. Hope she's something good.
Okay, and that was track number 11, Hope It's Something Good. I'm getting the feels. I am getting the feels. Oh my god. Okay. I mean, the song is pretty straightforward. I hope it's really worth it. 20 years of hanging on, now it all adds up to nothing. When you gave up on the moon and back, thought you found a better half. I hope she's something good. So the last 20 years of hanging on added up to nothing. And it looks like her ex-husband found another woman. She is saying, thought you found a better half. I hope she's something good. So I hope this woman, this new woman in your life, I hope she's something good. That's what I think the song's about, and so we have come to the end of the album, ladies and gentlemen. Track number 12, Set Me Free.
I've done what I know. Set me free. Set me free. Oh, set me free. You risked my body, broke my spirit. Set me free. Set me free. Oh, set me free.
Okay, and that was the final track of the album. Track number 12, Set Me Free. So it's pretty straightforward. Set me free. You've taken enough from me, untangle me from your lifeline. Why not just set me free? Don't you feel you're wasting time? You have the power to make it right. Decency would be for you to sign and release me. If you ever loved me, then will you do this one last thing? Set me free. And then she goes on to say, the weight of this hate was exhausting. You risked my body, broke my spirit, and still I've let you go. And this album as a whole was so... I wasn't expecting such a personal album. I don't know what I was expecting, like most times when I go into a first listen video. And this is my real first time being exposed to a Chicks album. And it was... I loved it. I loved every second of this album. I loved the lyrics. I loved how honest it was. It was like I was reading her diary. I learned so much about Natalie and her life and her views on politics and the world and love and hate and bitterness and falling in love. Just everything rolled into one. And this was a heartbreaking album to read, but at the same time, it was uplifting in parts. It's heartbreaking because of what happened, but it's like the light at the end of the tunnel. It's like, just all you can do is just move ahead. That's all you can really do. Just leave the past behind you. The past is the past. And you just have to look towards tomorrow, because that's all you can really do. You can keep thinking about yesterday and the shit you went through, but why do that? I've known people in my life who only focus on the past and the bad memories, and it drives them crazy. It turns them bitter, and a bitter, awful seed is inside of them because of the past. And they're so negative and hateful. But if you put that aside and just focus on the future and what life has in store for you, the next chapter of your life, then everything will be okay in the end. I mean, I've gone through my shit in life, and I've gone through my struggles, but not to the same extent as what Natalie and the Chicks went through. But everything I've gone through, I mean, I could dwell on those issues, or I could just move forward, and I choose to move forward than wallow in self-pity and those horrible things that happened in my life. I loved all the songs on this album. I loved reading the lyrics. The production was great. I haven't listened to many country albums, and this was a pleasant surprise. I really enjoyed the stories and the themes and what she had to say. A lot of the songs were really catchy, and I will definitely listen to this album again. So what do you guys think of the album? What are your favorite tracks? Maybe you didn't like this album as much as I did. A lot of you watching have probably listened to all of the Chicks' discography. You've probably been fans of them since the beginning. Maybe you just discovered them. Maybe you've listened to all their albums. So maybe this album isn't as good as their other ones. Maybe this is a lot better than some of their others. Maybe this is some of their best work. I don't know. I have to listen to the rest of their albums. But from what I listened to, I really enjoyed this album. So thanks for watching, guys. You can find me on Instagram, you can find me on Twitter, you can message me, you can tell me other artists I should check out. I'm open to any artists from any decade. You can find me on Apple Music, you can check out my playlist, and so on and so forth. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Take care.